Hi, Nitesh. Hi, Khandelwal. Ankur. Hi, good evening. Hi, Growth Solutions. I don't know your name. If I can have your name. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm just setting it up. Give me one more moment and then I'll be ready. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Pramod. Hi, Anand. I'll be like this. Uh, Pramod, I said Pramod. Bye. I said good evening. Hi, Sainait. Hi, Gurvinder. You should put your name. Why you have Growth Solutions? Yeah. So today was an interesting day from a market point of view. It started pretty nicely early in the morning and then it gave back the gains, held on to 4668 pretty nicely and closed at 4680. Tesla had a pop during the day from 990 to 1030. Amazon had a pop, but it gave back everything, but still held on to and closed above 3543. Apple did a good start, again gave back. Facebook had an awesome start, but again gave back about 2%. So today was an interesting day. Only stock which ran, which I discussed last night, was Boeing. That this time, if it runs, it will not give back, and that's what's happened in BA. So let's see what is going to happen for tomorrow. Let me start with my daily scan for inside days. Hi Suraj, hi Sainath, good evening. So we have banks, all the airlines. Let me just take them out. We have all the airlines, AL, DAL, UAL, CCL. They all are inside days, even NCLH. So this is interesting. All the tickers which I follow. Bank of America, Triple M, Okta. We have inside days. Hi Chris, hi Jay. Tomorrow also we have the retail sales number, which will come at 8:30. Now, retail sales number will reflect the strength in the economy. The inflation is rising as per the last CPI numbers. So, if retail numbers are higher, it means the consumers still are buying irrespective of the higher inflation, and that shows the strength in the economy. So, that will give a push to stocks like Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Macy's, uh, Five Below. We can have Amazon, Shopify. All these companies will have some strength based on this retail numbers. So it's going to be an important factor for tomorrow. And from there on, if we do not see any other negative news, because everything which has to be said or done is out, is there. Now we need to just understand what is the impact of all that on the market. Yesterday, ECB said they are not going to increase the interest rates in 2022. Same thing came from Australia just now, that they have no plans of increasing the rates. But this afternoon, Fed came up with a plan that yes, they might increase the rate with some pace. It's some like 7.75 basis points or 0.7%, 0.75%. So that shook the market. But inflation is something which is getting bigger and bigger. And Fed is trying to bypass it under the umbrella of calling it transitory inflation. But if one more month we have inflation higher, Fed will be forced to take steps. which it has been avoiding for now. Biden government is trying to control inflation and it's going out of hands. Now, the next inflation numbers next month, which are going to come, it becomes quite a what do you call remarkable number to watch. Yields, quarterly 20-year Treasury bond auction. Nicholas, I'll check on that. But if we have selling on those bonds with higher yields, it means there is risk which is increased in the market, and people are ready to invest long term in the bonds because now the yields are getting higher. So we will see if the auction comes out and bought 100% or more than that. Let's watch out for that. In between, hi everyone. Hi Jay, hi Jasleen, hi Ike, hi Ravi, hi Srini. All right, so I'll be pretty quick today because I have a meeting early in the morning, so I'll be quite sharp tonight. So let's see from ES today. Let's see what we had today. So today 4680, we had it for a couple of points, but it gave back since the Fed news. But 4668 was held on the 30 minutes. So again, let's check on that. So this is our candle. This was 30 minutes, 4668. See, we did not had a single closing of 4668 on the 30 minute. And then we had a 30-minute morning star right there. This 30-minute morning star did not work out, but it did give you some points. It gave all the way to 4670, 4680, but then gave back. Then you had a bullish engulfing on 30 minute, and that continued throughout the end of the day. Only last few minutes, the points gave back. So it was kind of a day where you can define that as more of a choppy day rather than a directional day. Market was still trying to figure out what needs to be done. Now, ES has inside day today. Like if you take SPX or if you take what you call a SPY, they are there. And you see 4668 is pretty strong support as of now. So strong support means there are buying opportunities or there are buying which is happening around this price. This is an example of a morning star, but we already are at the top, so I will not consider this, but this is a prime example of a morning star. You have a big red candle and a doji and then a big green candle. So it's a morning doji star. Usually it comes with a breakout if it is happening around the bottom of a trend, but this is the top of the trend. But for me, till the moment 4668 is being held, I think we are in a good position. We might try for all-time highs. And once we break out of this long-term trend line, which is going to be 4711 now, 4711, 4713, that's the area which is here. Let me just show with this is the area 4713. If we break out, we do not have any resistance until 4779. Okay, so here we have 4668 support, which even today, as I showed you on 30 minute, did wonderfully good. Then we have a good support of 4650. So these two supports will act handy. Like this last trend, which is started from 4260 to 4700, this 10% move, we did not lose the 12 EMA even once. We did not had a closing below 12 EMA, not even a single rate. So I believe that is going to be there even now. If it breaks, that changes things. Then we might come down to 4581 or and that can lead to some good sell-off. Okay, so right now I'm still positively biased towards the market, and I'm gonna keep ES. Morningstar was there, but now it is inside day. Buy above 4860, but now it should be 4697, which is a lot. So I'm not considering that. I'm just considering that, yes, if it opens above 4680, which is, if you see, and let me just increase the candle size here, you will see this open and today's close. This low, they are similar. Okay, so it's kind of making a pattern here. The close and this close, and this open were same. Now here it's trying to make a bullish candle, but it's still an inside day. Most likely, if we break above this area, which is 4692, we will have some strength. So I'm gonna just mark 4668 as my target area, but I'll be giving you a range now. And I'll be interested to buy above 4692 because that will give me a good strength. But I will see if I can get, because retail numbers are there. If it is good, as I said, retail numbers, it will push the market up. So I'm still positive on ES with these targets. 4713 now. I'm taking 4700 because that's a psychological number which act as a resistance. And once we break 4700, we will quickly give like 10, 12 points on the upper side. And 4713 is long-term trend line. Long-term trend line. On the downside, we will only sell below 4668. And now I'm just going to keep this not even red. I'll just move it to neutral color. It's a sell, but it's still in neutral color. 4650. That is going to be the 4650, which is a 12 EMA, and then 4581. If we break this time, if we break, we will have chance to go to 4581. So inside day, neutral. I'm just taking a positive bias. Positive. And this is, I'm just taking the neutral. QQQ gave back as soon as we heard the news of Fed rate. But if you see here, we have made a higher high. The high is higher than this one, and a higher low, which is again, we closed right on the trend line. Okay. Now, when we do something like that, it means we are still holding on to our strength. Now, the stop loss which we had, 389 to 391 is an extremely important support area. Now, when we do that support area, it means that, yes, we are going to see some buying traction. And if Amazon or if Apple, because retail numbers is going to impact Amazon and Apple both, if both get a good pump, a good push from the retail numbers, we might easily break out of this pink block to 399. So even in this case, I'll be a dip buyer. I'll be a buyer in QQQ, 393, 395. Stop loss, I'm moving it to 391 now. 391.1. This will be my stop loss. That's a 12 EMA stop loss, and I'm still confident 70% in it. 413 is my extreme target. Right now, I'm just looking for 399.57, which is the top of the pink block, 399.57. One more thing which has happened with all this, let me just show you the volume profile. Since we have seen some trading in this range, so the consolidation has started to happen and more transactions are coming in this area as compared to the transactions which we had here. So a good consolidation always leads to a good move. So it's not much, but I would not say it's we are at the top of the trend. So, and we have only spent maybe a week around this area. So the volume profile here is still all right. Let me do one thing. Let me just check on the black box if we have any QQQ calls. Let me just do that as a follow-up. So let me just remove these two. So QQQ 410 puts. See, these are the 410 puts which came at 331, 333, 335, 349, 349. These are February 2022. Let's check what they're telling us. Okay, so I have seen in my chart that yes, it's making some strength. Let me see here 410 puts, how they are mapping out. So this is triple Q. And I'm choosing them because they are a good volume and a reasonable price. 410 puts. 410 puts had a volume of 1352, which is a little strange. And the open interest was only 42. So most likely this is going to be add in the open interest. Okay, let me evaluate through the chart. Let me get rid of the volume profile for now. Okay, this is days. I'll just break it to 30 minutes. So in the last 30 minutes, we had these puts coming to us. Let me break it to 5 minutes. So we have a put here, which opened at 2465, high 2465, and the volume was 500. Here the volume was 250. Here the volume was 500. So these calls were actually, if I break it to 1 minute, these puts were bought. These were sold here, and then they were bought right in this price between 330 to 335. I think that's the time. Yeah. So these were bought, but then they were sold. So tomorrow I need to check what is going to happen. Angie, I don't know. I've been paying Blackbuck for so many years. I don't even know if there's any discount for me because I'm already a member for so many years. So 410 does not tell me anything clearly. 405 calls. Yes, this tells me clearly that yes, they are kind of being added. 393, 393, 28, 317, 320. So these were all added. This is not a substantial sum, but yes. So 410, what my understanding is, somebody tried to short it, but then there's an equal amount of buy as well. So tomorrow, if we have the open interest, I would be having a much better picture on the triple Q. But right now, my bias is positive, so I'm just going to keep that in mind. And even in the after hours, it's showing some strength. It's not showing remarkably strength, but good. So triple Q, I'm going to keep everything here as is. 70% is the conviction. The only thing which I changed is the QQQ stop loss. And I'm marking this as positive. Apple had an extremely good strength this morning. went all the way to 151.88, came back, tested the 12 EMA, but managed to close above 149.82. One more thing, the close here was 149.99, and open here was 150.37. It means it opened on strength right here. It may not close on strength, but it closed above the yesterday's close. So practically it had a higher high on the open and the close both. Plus the highs and lows were also higher. So in my understanding, I think 149, 150 area is an extremely good area to enter in Apple with a stop loss of 149.50. Look out for 151, 153. So Apple, I'm still positive. Stop loss is 149.56. Stop loss is really updated. That's it. Nothing else has changed. And I'm still positive on Apple. Airbnb. Airbnb could not, like, our point was it has to cross over 230 and have a close. So this was the 930 candle. It closed here. So I was looking to enter, but as soon as I was looking, it just came back and came all the way down. So I did not had confidence of trading this. But the good thing which had happened with all of this, that we definitely made a higher high. It allowed EMA to catch up a little bit. And now if we have strength above 208.39, we will continue to move. Okay, so Airbnb next target comes around 229, 220, which is the previous target, this area. So as soon as we break out of this area, because the important aspect is we are holding this gap. And whenever we are holding a gap on the positive side up and we do not come back to fill, it shows strength in the stock. Right now, it's doing that. So 208 here. This, come on. This 208 is an important trigger point. If we have a closing, or if we have a back-to-back 2 hour, half-hour candle close about 208, I'll mark that as a confirmation and can go write this. But below that, I will not touch it. So I'm going to keep my idea same. Airbnb, I'm calling it neutral because I need a buy above this. And my stop loss is 201, which is similar. This area, 201. So I'm going to keep this. Put call ratio will help the direction. Yes, it does. But you need to also compare it with the open interest. And put call ratio gets updated at end of the day with open interest. So you need to consider both. It's a combination, like put call ratio in itself may not give you the clear picture. You have to work it out with a combination of open interest. So that's about Airbnb. So nothing changes in Airbnb. PayPal is moving. PayPal, as we were discussing, PayPal moved all the way to 214. It definitely had a bearish engulfing and then had a doji. It has a move towards 219, so it should continue to move. Stop loss is 208, which is still there. I'm going to call this as positive now because it confirmed. Now I'm going to buy this in a range 212. Not above, but in the range. In fact, 211 to 213, that will be a better range. 28 will still be the stop loss. 219 is the target. Come on. So PayPal is moving up. This 219.4 is the target. Stop loss, you can mark this as stop loss 208. So I'm just going to keep that. Or you can keep the stop loss right at 212, but that will be too close to the price. So I would wait for 211, 211, 212. So I'll call this 210 as my stop loss. Amazon, I'm bullish on Amazon, but again, it managed to close about 35.43, which is really, really good. So I'm going to keep my expectations pretty good on Amazon. It is trying its best to break out of this long-term zone. So if this long-term zone, if we have a closing here, this is good. Just we need one trigger, and Amazon has all the strength it needs. Thanksgiving is coming, retail numbers are giving, it had all the catalyst it needs. So if it starts, don't miss the train on Amazon. That I would say. It's going to be very, very quick, and it can be really, really good move of Amazon. Amazon is trying best to get out of this selling area. If it is able to manage it, it is extremely positive move on Amazon. Right now it's showing strength. So I'm waiting for the retail numbers to guide me through this. So extremely positive. Target is still 3656. Stop loss is 3495. Everything else is same in Amazon. 70%. Boeing, which I was 80% confident that by about 223, it opened at 229, came to 227, and now 234. So Boeing will ripe. It broke out as we talked about this, that this is the weekly move. The trend line has changed. Finally, we see a big green candle. There is no resistance for it. It will test 239, 251. It will just move. So if you were in Boeing, that is an extremely good choice you made. If you were not, then you might need to buy this at any dip. 231, 232 was an area where it had previous rejections. Now it should come as support. So 230 should be the support. In fact, 231. Buy above or buy in the range 233, 235. Target is 239 and 251. You can buy January calls, you can buy whatever calls, because Boeing, that's the only reason. This is the only stock I was confident. And Facebook, both give you extreme moves today, right? Both came. So anytime I am looking for 80% moves, those two stocks were the main game, right? So I'm super positive on BS still. It has just started. Once we have a confirmation on the China that yes, they're going to buy Boeing, this will be a 300 stock in a matter of days. So I'm positive on BA. Baba, I myself added Baba positions today. It is consolidating, and I'm expecting a strength in this, because I was looking at the weekly charts as well on Baba. Weekly charts, it's kind of making a symmetrical triangle on 3 weeks. It is inside week right now. Extreme move expectation can come. Once it breaks above 167.86, just keep an eye. 167.86, let me just give the notations. Look at this number, 167.86. If it breaks, it's gonna come and hit 189. So the risk reward here is extremely bullish, extremely high, 189, 198. So I am very much positive on Baba, and my stop loss will be this area, 166, 165. So a risk of 2 points against a gain of 17 to 18 points. I'll any day take that in. I want Baba. And let me just check Baba price on Chinese market. 0.9988. It is $165 in China. That's about 1.86% in China as of now. Let me just show you that. No, stay here. Come on. 0.9988 stock price. This is the code for Baba. Chinese market. This is the price, 164.70. It's 2% up. And usually US market price will go by about $4 with this. So expect a move above 169 to 170 in the morning on Baba. So I'm expecting extremely good moves on Baba, and I have no doubt that yes, it will run. So Baba, it's another trade which is 80% now. And you see, like BA is 80%, Facebook is 80%, and both gave extreme moves today. If you were on these trades, you would have made good money. Okay, so Baba, I'm going to give 80%. I just want 167.86 just to make sure. Target is these three. Shopify started well, went on to make 1700, 1670, and that took the support of 1647. Initially, it went down pretty quickly. If I break it to 30 minutes, yeah. Initially, as soon as it went above 1630, which was 930 candle, the move closed at 1688. It was already above, so I did not risk it because it had already seen a good run of 200 points. So I actually did not enter myself in it, but I'll be looking to enter in it around 1647 to 1640 area. I want to enter in that area. Okay, so I don't want to rush into Shopify because it has given its move, but I want to wait and jump onto this if I get a good opportunity, because this is extremely bullish candle. We are all-time highs. If we get a red candle, that will become an evening star. Okay, so 1647, I want it to hold. If it doesn't, then it's not a trade which I'm going to take. So I'm just going to call this Shopify as neutral now because it has done its part. Buy here, stop loss is 1647. I think I'm going to give it 60% now. If it breaks below 1647, no need to touch it. I'm not going to touch this. And that's why I'm just giving it a low rating so that I do not emphasize on it tomorrow. NVIDIA, today it worked really well. If you were short on NVIDIA, it gave you that 292, 293 area. Still holding below this. But what it is doing is it's allowing EMA to catch up. So I'm still going to keep the equation as is. 306 has been a pain point for NVIDIA, 306.50. So I'm going to keep 306.50 as my stop loss. Again, 299, sell below 299 if you get an opportunity. And the target has moved up to 287. 287. And I'm still short on NVIDIA. This is a bearish engulfing. So I'm going to give this a bearish engulfing name, short. B engulf. That's there. Okay. Twilio. Twilio started to move, but it could not break out above 310, which is the 12 EMA. It has been acting as a pain point here, and it's not letting it grow. So I'm going to still wait for 310 to break out or 3960 to break out. If it does, that's about 5 points from here. I'm going to keep my targets open if I get out or if I get an opportunity about 309. So yes, I'm going to wait for Twilio to move. As soon as it have a half an hour closing above 310, I'll jump onto this because it will hit 323 and it's a very good mover. It can move 10-20 points in a day very easily. So with 5 points up move, I'll be waiting for 310 in. I'm going to go long on Twilio. So it's a positive. It was a morning star and it tried to break out, but it failed. So I'm going to call this simply positive because the morning star did work out well. Buy above 310, stop loss is 36, target is these two. I'm giving a 60% because it should have broken out, but it did not. Facebook inverted head and shoulders worked like a charm. Perfect move. We tested this long-term trend line, and if you see, come on. Oh, I want to draw. We had this shoulder, the head, and the shoulder. So this morning star was good. This shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 was good, and we closed on the neckline. We broke the neckline, but we could not close above it. I want a move above 350. If we have a closing above 350, we will hit 365 and it will move non-stop. Like today above 345, it moved non-stop to 353. Again, it will move. It will have very good traction in the market. So I'm extremely positive on Facebook now with the stop loss of 345.16 and a move above. Facebook is positive. Inverted head shoulder is done. So this will become my stop loss 345.30 and I want a move above 350. If we get 350, I'm looking at 365. And I'm going to give it 70% now because it has done its move. If it had a closing above 370 or 350, I would have given 80% on this. But right now, I'm just going to give it 70%. It's extremely positive still. And guys, if you are able to use this information, do let me know. If you are struggling to use this information, do let me know so that I can have a specific video how to use this sheet. I'm trying to make some videos on all the points which I discussed. I'm just looking for some time, some bandwidth. As soon as I have it, I will jump on to complete those. Pan W. Pan W again, like it needs to break out of this zone, 519, 523. It definitely made a higher high, higher low, but could not persist. So I wanted to break out of this so that I can test 549. The risk reward is like the stop loss is still 509. The area is 519 to break out. And so now I have to create those videos. I will post that on Twitter so that you can all look at those videos and make use of it. And we have to break out of this area. Once we do the breakout, we might come and test 549. So Pan W, again, I'm just keeping it neutral. I need to have this thing breakout. I am looking to that. IWM, IWM went down as soon as we heard the Fed. Otherwise, it was doing all right. It was trying to hold 240 area. It still is above the 212 EMA. So I'm going to keep my heads high and I will try to enter near 237, 240 area. Still, I'm going to keep my stop loss here. Pretty confined. It will run. Retail sales, it will run. 242 is the block here, 242.53. That is my first target. And then 250, which is the second target. So I'm extremely bullish on IWM, small cap index. Then we have XPEV. XPEV, like, it could not work out well. I wanted to buy it above 48. It went to 49, but it was not a high conviction trade. Like, it went up and the next candle was a big red. So it like, I thought this is a hammer and it will break out. I tried it, but I just exited as soon as I hit the 12 because it was not showing strength. So again, I want to see XPV to show strength. So 46 area is something which I need to buy. Instead of buying near 48, I'm going to buy near 46 with a stop loss of 44.64. So 44 is the area where I need to buy, which is about 3% down, and I want to buy the dip. And my stop loss will be 44.60. Target says 51, which is the 50 EMA. If we break out here, 51 will be a smaller target. We will hit 58. So I'm going to give 58.37. But I'm going to wait for it. 60% is still okay for XPV. MU TSM AMAT, it went on to like 78 today, still made a higher high, high low. It's kind of creating a piercing pattern, allowing the 12 EMA to come, and maybe one more day it may not break out, but I'll be a buyer in any dip. 76 to 77, I'll be a buyer with a stop loss of 75. And my target is 79.86. So Vijay, I will explain in my video how to use my sheet. I've done that multiple times during the live videos, which I'm doing right now. So if you want to have a look there, you can, but I will create the video and I will upload it so that you can all use it. So MU, my equation still remains the same. I'm going to buy any dip. I'm just keeping it positive. The trend is, my bias is positive. Thank you, Tejasvi. I appreciate that. So any dip here, I'm looking for these. And I'm extremely bullish on MU. Roku is another stock with retail. It can move. It was trying to move. It's holding this area as we speak. This 272, 73 area. It's holding that area. So a green candle would have been amazing today, but it is flat, but still it's all right. We can hit 287 and 307. The selling pressure is gone and we're going to have some good strength buying happening in Roku. So Roku, I'm going to call it positive, increasing its conviction to 70%. Buy in the area 77.50. Stop loss is 272 now. And my target is 287 and 307. So I am more positive on Roku than I was before. $287 and 307. 287.60 and 307.60. AMD, like Nvidia, will remain in a hangover till the earnings are there for Nvidia. But it is allowing, like, there were so many candles and it came and test this area. So I'm interested to buy this at 138, 139, maybe like 141 area. So it is still away, but tomorrow, if we get something negative in the market and it comes down, I will definitely try to enter AMD at 141. It's not showing strength, which it has shown. It may want to consolidate a little before a good move. So AMD, I'll be a buyer at 141. So I'll be buying the dip instead of buying it above. Buy near 141.50. Stop loss will be 138 or 139. 139. Stop loss was 139. 141.20. If it comes around this area, I'll be a buyer, keeping this stop loss. If it breaks, I'll be out. But this has held from 105. I think this will be held again. So AMD is good. Equation is good. And I'm just keeping it 60% because it has given extreme move already. So I'm going to wait for it. Tesla started today in the afternoon once they had a news that some fund was buying Tesla. It held on to that 34 EMA beautifully. And it's still holding on to this gap. So a close below 983 would have been a disaster in Tesla and it would have filled those gaps. So if it is holding here, plus I just checked on Twitter, the filing shows 2 million more shares sold by Tesla. That's about 6 into 8.5 million shares which have been sold out of 17 million. So 50% is gone. I think the hangover Tesla may have for one more day and it will start to move. So I'm going to keep the stop loss at 1000 because 1000 has been a good support area once again. 1022, 1023 is an area where it needs to break. Maybe 1033, which is today's high, 1033. Buy above 1033. And stop loss is this one. Because if the selling is done by Musk, we could have an extremely good move in Tesla. CGC had a good move today. It went and made 16 almost. That's about 7% move, but then gave back. But still made a higher high, higher low. The long-term trend is good. I'll be trying to buy around 14 with a stop loss of 1368. So I'll be buying around 14 with a stop loss of 1368 in CGC. You can buy CGC Tilray or any cannabis stock. They had the news. Now let's see if there is a sell on news or there is some positive momentum in it. All right, so this is what I wanted to discuss. Let me share the Zoom link in the YouTube. You can all come and you can discuss. I'll be keeping it pretty quick, as I said, because I have a meeting tomorrow. I need to leave early for the office. So 11:30, like 20 minutes, I'll be out. Lucid Motors. Lucid Motors had earning in the after hours. It posted reasonably good earnings and then a good momentum. And guys, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. If you have any questions, you can raise the hand and we can manage that accordingly. Okay, so you can pick SNDL, but SNDL is an extremely like a penny stock for me. I don't even prefer that. CGC is much better. CGC Tilray are much better. So Lucid Motors may cool off here a little bit, along with all the EV sector. I'll be a buy around 40, which is about 10% lighter. Let me see how it moves tomorrow because ERs have an extreme outcome. It may look in one direction in the after hours and can be totally different direction in the real market. So I'll definitely be a buyer at 40, 35 area. But if it breaks 40, I will think about Lucid Motors. Right now, I am really, really positive on Lucid Motors. I do not want to buy at the top, so I'm wishing it can come down to 40, 35, which is 12 EMA, test it, and I'll be a buyer. I'll be waiting to jump in. I'm not shorting it for sure. And my target for Lucid Motors are 54 and 75. That's Lucid Motor I have. LRCX. LRCX, again, like it went up, but could not close above this trend line. We need to have a close above this trend line to have an extremely bullish move on lab research. So it might cool off a little and then move again. So this is something you need to watch. Lam Research is a big mover. It needs to cool off a little, may come back to 615, 620, and I'll be a buyer at that price. Like I'll not be rushing after all these companies. If I have to rush, I will rush after Amazon or Apple, but not in Lam Research. I'll wait for them. Uber. Uber has a bearish candle today. Like this was a good morning star candle, but it's followed by a bearish engulfing. The entire body here is almost equal to the, it's smaller. So it's not even a completely bearish engulfing, but it's not good, just to be in layman words. This candle, the price action here is not good. It opened here, and the moment it opened, it was sold, and it was sold till the end. So this, I would say, I would not touch Uber as of now until it breaks above 46.69. If it does, yes, it makes sense to jump onto Uber. And guys, if anybody has to speak, please let me know so that you can raise your hand and I can let you speak on here. Then we have W Day. I've not traded this stock in months. See, I have not even touched this. I may need to draw something new. Okay. So W Day is making a morning star. This is not good. This is not good. Yes, Manchuk.
Hi, Naval. Can you please also have a look Rivian?
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
WDay is making a evening star, which is not good at top of the trend. So we need to be make sure that 294.50 is held. If it breaks down, it might come to 285 area. So be cautious on WDay. Rivian, again, like Rivian is a stock which has just opened. So technically there is nothing here. It's extremely overvalued at this time. It will 100% lose its value. But point is, do you want to enter now or do you want to enter at a fair price? Because it started at 100, now it's 50% already there. The IPO price was 77. And this company's, the expectations are really, really high. But this is a company which is going to make some trucks. It's not a fully automobile company. So I think at this time, I would not touch it. I would be buying around 60s, 70s in Rivian. And I'm sure it will come in a month, maybe 2 months. Option it has not opened, but it might give you some move because people who don't know about anything, they just run before IPOs and they just pump, pump, and pump. And once the retailers have the IPO stocks in their portfolio, there is distribution, and that's it. The retailers get the prices of these stocks at all-time highs, and they have to wait and wait and wait and wait to get the value here. So I'm not touching Rivian, Panchuk, but I will not think to go long in it at this price. There is no point. Short, I'm not recommending any short in this market. There's no point shorting anywhere. Okay. Then TTD. Trade Desk. Trade Desk came all the way, tested my Fibonacci 108, made the high 152, and it was a breakout from inside day, and it's carrying on. Now, next move in this can happen above 108.52. So above 108.52, it can move to 135. So it has good potential, but you need to make sure that it holds above 108.52 and then move from there. Options are opening on Rivian. Like prices will get definitely impacted by options. People will jump onto the puts, but the option volatility will lead to a very high prices of the options. So you have to be very careful on the options of Rivian. But yes, they can be really, really good if they work out properly. But if they are about like $130 option, a strike option, if it is $20, I'm not touching it. I have much better stocks to trade with than going here. Yes, Sandeep.
Hey Naval, good evening and thank you for your time and everything, Naval. Naval, like, do you follow Sophie by any chance? Any
Sophie, I
thoughts on?
do. Sophie, I do. And I said yesterday it has to close about 24 to give me any move. So Sophie,
Okay,
again, like it came all the way near to 24, but failed. Now it might come to 22, and 22 is an area where I need to look at Sophie. Oh, it's already down in the after hours. Wow.
that's my question. Actually, there was a stock offering after hours. So, do you think that's a good news or bad news? I mean, like, is it? I think the shares would be cheap tomorrow. Do you think it's a good time to get in for long, or do you think it's already overextended? What are your thoughts?
See, I didn't knew about the offering. I just no, I read it somewhere. I posted it somewhere. But so I sorry about that. So I did know about offering. I just didn't realize about this. 22 is a good price.
Okay.
If it doesn't hold, then
Mhm.
I would not touch it. I want 22 to hold.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, earnings wise, I think, did you get a chance to look at these earnings? Do you think it's a good stock at all, or
I did not.
because
It's a good company, but I did not read into the earnings.
Okay. Okay.
I have to read, only then I can give you my thoughts on that. Maybe tomorrow, once I read it, I will come back to this and let you know.
Sure.
But
Sure. Yeah, that helps.
technically,
Yeah.
22 area is a good Fibonacci area, as well as, no, it's 50%. So it's okay Fibonacci area, but 12 EMA is there. If it breaks 12 EMA, it will come down to 20. So
Okay.
22 for me, if I have to go long, I'll keep 22 as my stop loss.
Okay. So now generally on these kind of things, right? Like, do you buy stocks or calls? Like,
I don't buy any
how?
stocks in US market. The only stock I have is my favorite Boeing, nothing else. I don't know.
Oh,
I also have
okay.
Ford. Ford. These are
Okay.
two stocks I
Okay.
have. I don't buy anything else.
Oh, all right. I got it. Okay. Okay. Um, and one more technical question, Noel. I don't know. Like, I joined late. I'm not sure. Can I ask one question? Like on Think or Swim, right? So on the candle settings, do you need to use the price type as last or mark or bid or ask? Like, how do you need to use that candle price setting?
Where is that?
So the price type, no. You clicked it. Close that. I'll show you in the drop down. Style. Click on style. Now price type, chart type below. I mean,
It's
yeah.
last. Okay, this is always last.
Okay. Okay. So we always need to have the last,
This
right?
is the closing price, the
Okay.
last
Okay.
traded price. These are not the prices, because in
Okay.
any case, I do the prices at the close. So I want the last price. That's it.
All
Because
right.
I
Okay.
use a
Yeah.
daily candle, so I prefer to do that. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Mal.
Let me just pick up. We have Microsoft. Microsoft again had a target of 350, but once it crossed 338.79, it did not. Uh, it definitely made a higher high, higher low. What's the name? Mr. Joule XT. Uh, it needs to break above 338 to give its momentum. I don't want to touch it before 338, or it comes to 331. I'll be a buyer. Yes, Harsh.
Two questions. So when you give a target and you say if it comes to this, so for example, if it's a bullish case, when you say if it crosses that, are you looking at the 30-minute candle closing above that point, or are
Yes,
you
yes.
just looking at any price?
No, 30
So I
minute.
think you said yes, right?
30
You said
minute.
yes to the 30-minute.
Yes.
Okay. Second thing was when you create a target, is it for the next day or it could be a few days later?
It could be a few days later. It's just the target is the Fibonacci levels or meditation channels. It may
Right.
come on the same day. It may come next day. It may take 2 days.
Yep.
That depends on the market.
The reason I ask is I picked Facebook last night from your analysis, and this morning as soon as the market opened, it was already beyond the target, right? And there's you by the time you already lost the momentum, and then it's kind of coming back down. So I was wondering,
Yes,
what is
I,
your? But
I
I think you
agree to
answered.
that.
Yeah.
But we were in Facebook since 329.
Yep.
So if you were already there, you would have good money. But if you missed it and you waited, you would have realized it went on to 353 and then give back.
Yep.
So it saved you from entering at 353 or 350. So
True.
sometimes this gives you an opportunity where you are already at the target. So it's all right. We still have a target of 365.
Yep.
We might get that tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually got in this morning, so I'm waiting.
Yeah. So it's just that I prefer to build that patience, because you just need one good trade in a day.
Yep.
We do not have to do multiple trades. One good trade in a day, make some money and sit down. That's it.
Yep.
So we can, like, right now I have a target for Facebook at 365. Okay. So 350 is something which I'm looking for, because that will be a closure above that trend line. Once it does that, it may open at 354. I don't care. I'll be looking at this at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the thing which I've realized myself is, if I start looking at the market at 9:30, it starts to like push me to trade.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
too
don't
much
look at the
volatility.
market.
Yeah.
I just keep myself away, so that even if the opportunities are gone, it's all right. I need one opportunity out of these in the day, in one day,
Right.
and I can get that.
So do you do at the money call, or do you go in a little bit in the money or out of the money?
That depends on the stocks. Like for Apple, I do in the money calls. For Amazon, I do round number calls like 3600, 3650, 3700.
Mhm.
For BA, I do like five, maybe like 2 strikes to 5 strikes out a month away. That's what I do. So it totally depends on the stock, what kind of strikes I'm picking. Usually, I prefer to do a strike near the target and 2 weeks out. But sometimes I try to improvise, and like, for example, Apple, I may take a December 3 call in this, or I might take a 26th November call, but I might take, instead of 155, I might take 150 calls.
Okay.
So I look at the delta sometimes just to check how much I will get with the move.
Yeah.
With Amazon, I tend to take at least 2 weeks out, so that in case I'm wrong, I still have some time to recoup. So
Yeah.
again, once you start practicing it with 2 weeks out, you will find a better option which works for you. So do a paper trade first with 2 weeks out on a strike near this, and then take it from there.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
No problems. Then Vineet.
Hey, Naval, thank you. Well, a disclosure, I mean, I'm with you on BA. Your recommendation was since August, just piling up BA for January. So with you on this ride, hopefully it should touch 250 or breakout. And thank you.
It should, because I'm holding so much in January.
So, and thank you for the levels every day. So can't say enough thanks, but this is great. Just quick question on the Zoom. Do you see the Zoom chart? I see on 4 hours and daily, it's back to back, two big candles. There's a gap above, two layer of gaps. What do you think?
Yesterday we discussed about Zoom that is making a morning star.
Yeah.
And today we had a candle right from the open and close. The close here and the open here, they were same, and then bang up. So it's making a positive momentum, and that's what I said. 270 was target. We discussed Zoom yesterday.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good.
So now it closed over the 12 EMA. It should look out for 270.
Cool. Thank you. Yep.
Okay. So Microsoft we did. Ford I'm long, like it's a stock which I'm not going to sell. So I'm always going to be long in Ford. Technically super strong. It's holding this long-term trend line. It can still continue to be strong for Ford. QCOM came all the way to 169, closed somewhat underneath 168 after hours, showing some strength. I think with Apple it will move, and I need to create some new levels on this because 400% is gone. It's almost to its February highs of 168 to 169. I think it's fine that it can move above 169.50. If it does, it will give you at least 10% move from here, at least 10%. So QCOM is extremely good setup. But condition is it needs to have a closing above 169.50. If it does, thumbs up to QCOM. Google Google is consolidating. It needs to break out. Either it definitely making higher, high, low. I think it's waiting for the momentum in the market. If market, because it is bouncing off this long-term trend line, the purple one. It is bouncing off from there. EMA has cashed up properly. Any dip around 29.35, 29.50, I'll be a buyer in this, Angie. So I'm still bullish on Google. I'll be bearish once it breaks below 28.97, but right now I'm bullish on Google. Disney, it's like 157 something, which we discussed. That was the gap. The low here is the high, 157.46. 157.60. So almost the gap is filled. If it bounces from here, it's okay. It can move up. Otherwise, it will go down. So wait for a green candle tomorrow. If we have a green candle tomorrow, it can be a good move in Disney. Otherwise, just ignore Disney for now. A firm has been a roller coaster for me. Every time I buy it, I lose it. That's kind of trade in a firm show with. It's holding this long-term area. It's holding the 34 EMA. It's holding all of that. If it breaks below this, it will be a quick down move. But every time it comes here, it's getting that support. So I'll be watchful in a firm now. A break above 152 should be positive. A break below 143 should be negative. A break in between the red and the green line is going to be consolidation. So I'll not be touching a firm unless it breaks up or breaks down. Dump on ES. There's no big dump on ES. It's only 33,000 volume. There's hardly any volume in ES. Usually this volume is by 8 o'clock. We do not even have volume till 11:30. So there's no big dump on ES. So when you're talking about big dump, you need to understand you're talking about volume which is above 50,000 in that candle. That's a big dump. If I break it to 30 minutes now, where is the volume? One second. It's only 3,000 stocks, 3,000 future contract. No, it's not. Yes, Harsh.
Just curious if you would be willing to share your watch list.
My watch list is this one.
Yep.
It's a bigger one. I keep on adding and removing things.
It's
I don't
a
know how
really
to
good watch
share it.
list. Oh, you don't know how to share it?
This is my default, right? Share default. It's in where the share option might. Let me paste this in the Zoom chat. That is the watch list.
Awesome. Thank you.
But I don't know how it's going to help you.
I typically run a bunch of scans. I would use that as a starting point.
Okay. So LM Costco. So guys, I need to cut down because I have to leave early. So I'm going to keep only 2 tickers and then I'll call it a night. Costco is looking good. It broke out of the long-term trend line, and with earnings, like this is the second time it's coming around this area. Long-term trend line is breaking above, showing extremely bullish strength. So I need to draw some new levels because 426 is gone. Costco, extremely bullish move are there in Costco. Last one is UPST. UPST is a stock which you will see filling this gap. It's just extremely bearish scenario in UPST. 223, we talked about 223. If it doesn't hold, we will come down to 130, 35 very easily. All right, guys, I need to drop now. Thank you very much. I'll be posting this information on Twitter. If you like this information, please just retweet that. That's the only thing which I ask you for. And that's about it. Thank you very much. I'll post the watch list on YouTube. Catman, you need to join Zoom. You need to have a Zoom account. If you don't have a Zoom account, then it will not let you enter. All right. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.